Peace, love, and balance, everybody. Peace, love, and balance, y'all. It's your girl Isha, the goddess of wisdom, also known as Goddess on the Rise, the Copper Queen, the Flower Hootie Queen, bringing this sacred energy exchange to y'all. Okay, y'all. So look, I named this video Spellwork Universe, and y'all know I do these every once in a while when there's really some serious spiritual warfare going on, spiritual psychosis going on, MK Ultra going on, stress and depression, just feeling like you're not in control of your own life right now. You know what I mean? Your life seems like it's falling apart and something else is causing this, okay? Especially for my people breaking generational curses like myself. And that I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff in that department about breaking generational curses. And as you, men and women, as you continue to break the generational curses of your bloodline, something that you're going to have to do is wish them healing. Let me explain this to you. This is not to justify some very harmful decisions and actions that were taking place towards you specifically for my generational curse breakers that be the black sheeps, the chosen ones. This is not to justify their toxic behavior and help them get away with it. No. For being in a low vibration, and remember, this is a planet of free will. So they did have a choice and they chose to do evil. So they still, because they could have did a lot of things. They could have went and got help. They could have asked for help. They could have did so much. There's so many resources out here when you're battling demons, whether you want to go to church, whether you want to call out to a spiritual doctor like myself, get therapy, you know what I'm saying? Go to a site sales, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself in the hospital. People have done it. They feel so bad. They like lock me up. Turn yourself in. I think those are the most noble people. They know something ain't right and they don't want to be there with, so they would take themselves to a state asylum and be like, lock me up because something ain't right about me and get checked out. So that's what I'm saying. With so many things they could have done and they didn't do it. So they're going to still have to pay. But you do want to break the curses in your bloodline, because you want to know why. If you don't break the curse in your bloodline, you're still going to be cursed, and you can still transfer the curse via your seed or sexually, energetically. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to have to, and that's what I'm doing right now. You're going to have to break the curse that was cast upon your family lineage, because this has been in your blood lineage. It's not, this is bigger than just you. You think it's just an attack on you. And the only reason why you're under so many attacks because you are the awakened blood descendant that is aware that this stuff is real and it exists. So anybody that's awakened get attacked even hard. And the people that's not awakened are being used like the like those, like on the Matrix, where he just kept turning everybody into him and getting them to do whatever he wants. That is modern day MK Ultra and what's happening. A dark force could just attach to you and get you to do whatever they want. It's easier because you're unconscious. And even not healing, y'all. I've been talking about healing since before I started this YouTube channel, that we don't know that your lack of healing can be weaponized. Okay? There are people out here, because they get RAPED, they want to RAPED somebody. Because they get ME, sexually taken advantage of at a young age, they want to take it sexually advantage of somebody else. Because, and it's not that they literally want somebody else, and I don't want to trigger nobody, so if this is not for you, get off. But it's not because they actually want to harm somebody else. Whatever this, when people do harmful things like that to you, it stays in your spirit. It's literally a demon that got released. So somebody just passed the pain on to you by performing the same thing that happened to them to you. And you got to be the strong person to be like, you would not be repeating this cycle. You would not fall to the temptation of whatever this demonic force is trying to get you to even think about doing something harm. So say somebody, it's the same way somebody killed your child, you gonna go kill their child. They killed your mama, you gonna kill their mama. Now, I am going to talk about some things and how this energy works and how it could be toxic as well as beneficial. It's toxic and beneficial. So we remember there has to be balance on the planet, okay? I'm going to be pulling from a few cards to really get an idea of what's going on, because I feel like a lot of us, because it's summertime too, a lot of us been going through a lot of stuff that we ain't really want to talk about. Some of y'all may be going in to get help about it and just keeping it to yourself, which you should. Everybody don't need to know your business and your struggles, because sometimes people can use your struggles and stuff that you're going through as a way to target you, take, get you, and you're trying to get help and they want to use it as a weapon. So don't tell all your business and things you're going through to people, because I promise you they will turn it against you to prove something that they've been really projecting onto you. That's another thing. People don't get this. Spiritual warfare works with projection. So people thinking evil thoughts about you that's untrue, there, that's powerful too. It can be manifested into the physical, because they're thinking, I bet you this person is a murderer, I bet you this person is toxic, I bet you they hate this and hate that, and for you acting in ways like, you're like, this is not even me, because people are sending it out with their energy. That's the age of Aquarius energy too. Age of Aquarius, everything is an open book. Thoughts are extremely powerful. That's why people can be like, I've had several people that I was thinking about them and they end up calling me. Telepathic connection. So people, that's why it's so easy for MK Ultra. So I don't know if y'all been seeing this thing about young Pharaoh, what's going on with him. I do think that's some kind of stuff that he just didn't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing to play with, y'all. So I'm going to show y'all some items in my shop that y'all can purchase from me to better protect yourselves. Okay. So starting off, y'all know I got my chicken foots. These are very good for protection, okay? They are used in voodoo, hoodoo, and witchcraft. I have red and blue, and if you go on my website, goddessonthe.rise.life, it tells you what the color meaning of these are, okay? I have it in the description. You do have to go on the website, check that out. But yeah, y'all need to get y'all chicken foot magic on to do protection rituals with y'all, for y'all selves, to really guard your enemy right now, because baby, it's the spiritual warfare is up. The spiritual warfare is up, y'all. So the two colors I recommend working with, which I'm working with right now, is going to be black and blue. Specifically this color blue, the royal blue. All right. Black, and remember, black is for banishing, curses, hexes, spell work, black magic, removal spells, all that. Okay. And evil eye for this one. Okay. These are good to be burned together when you're doing protection rituals, banishing rituals, breaking curses, breaking spells, and things of that nature, okay? And they work great. I dress them the way that I want to, with certain herbs that are for protection and for banishment and all that, and then light it up. All right, and then we have the evil eye and my spell breaker candles, okay? Both of these would be good to do if you're breaking spells right now, and healing from things that you need to let go, okay? And protect yourself from really just being in that energy, even being near people that will do that to you. And I do have, I forgot to grab the that oil, but I have the oil for the spell breaker oil, and I do have the oil, that candle oil. I just realized I didn't grab it. I do have the evil eye oil, and I got the evil eye incense as well, and spell breaker incense. See, so they come in a set. You can get the oil, the incense, and the candle. Okay, that's how they come. And for my hoodoos, Hajan the Conqueror Root. If you practice African spirituality, but Hajan the Conqueror Root is going to be good. I do have incense for him. Incense for him. Hajan the Conqueror Root. Very good ancestors to work with. And the oil. So dress your candles, dress your incense, anoint your altar. If you have a statue, even if you have a statue or even a picture of them, you can anoint the picture. All right. And we got Black Cat. So y'all know yesterday was Black Cat, International Black Cat Appreciation Day. And also all black cats are associated with Boston. So yes, definitely paying homage to Boston, okay? And giving her honor. And she is a very protective goddess, okay? Very protective. So working with her. And let me see. I'm pretty sure I got... Let me see. Do I got the oil for that? Yes. Here's the oil. Black Cat oil. All on my website. Black Cat oil. And I got Black Cat incense. Black Cat incense, y'all. And then I have the Black Cat deck as well. These are new. And the Egyptian deck. Okay? Tarot decks. Both of these are tarot decks. All on my website, goddessonthe.rise.life. Y'all, this is stuff we need right now. I'm pulling out all the stuff we need right now. If you practice Ifa or work with the Orishas, we got the 7 African powers incense. You need to work with all these ancestors, Ogun and all of them, to protect you right now. That's what I'm saying. This is not the time to be doing light work. just strictly light work right now, this is the time to start doing black magic. I know a lot of people think black magic is only to kill and do harm to people unjustly. Yes, there are evil people out there that use this power to do harmful things to people for no apparent reason but to be evil, which is what's happening to us. But no, black magic and dark magic is to protect you from harmful dark spirits and energies and things coming to you. And right now we just need to get that protection. Y'all been seeing all these lynchings happen in Mississippi. All these lynchings has been happening in Mississippi. So that's another. I got a gristbis bag over here, but y'all need to get these gristbis bags loaded. Work with iron, work with devil's pod, work with different things that keep dark energies. Mojo bags and your gristbis bag, work with these energies that keep dark energies away from you. Voodoo dolls. I'm telling you, that's what it's time, and I'm about to let y'all know. Watch how this reading come out. Y'all gonna understand the energy. Voodoo dolls, okay. We also got red brick dust. Remember, we have this powerful root worker, Jack Making. So we need healing right now too, because right now, all these bad recalls on food, stuff spreading, poison up. They just found, I mean, they've been finding stuff like this, but they found cancer in chicken. And as a hoodoo that grew up on chicken, and I no longer eat chicken, they say it's been similar, what is it called, salmonella or something like that in the eggs. They poisoning our food and causing illnesses throughout our body. So y'all working with graveyard dirt, red brick dust. This is actually the root, Hajan the cockerel root, in the root form that you can work with. Frankincense and myrrh. We're gonna have to start burning these herbs and dressing our bags up, protecting ourselves and everything from what's going on out here, y'all. And last thing, I have a white candle because I highly recommend for us, Hoodoo Heritage Festival is coming up in autumn season, aka the autumn equinox, and the season of the witch is coming up in Hoodoo Heritage Month. So working with any white candle is like a universal color in hoodoo, okay? And you can work with any ancestors and call upon any ancestors. All you got to do is write their name on the actual candle. You can either write it on a piece of paper and tape it on here if you want to. However you want to do it, you can dress the candle, okay? These candles in my website, and I'm going to be speaking about this before I start the reading about working with Nat Turner, okay? It's a reason why, because that's why I gave an example, working with Nat Turner, okay? I'm going to be talking more about him as the Hoodoo Heritage Month gets closer. If y'all hear that plane and stuff like that, that's I have my window open and stuff, so I wanted to get some fresh air. So let's start off about Nat Turner. So I put this little piece together, and I'm going to be sharing it on social media, but as of right now, I have not. This is how it looks. I made this myself. I don't use AI, okay? All right, so look. It has right here. This is called the Nat Turner Rebellion, 1831. It says, Nat Turner was born on October 2nd, 1800 in Southampton County, Virginia. He was intelligent and a well-known Christian preacher who frequently preached the gospel to fellow enslavers surrounding areas and was born into a slave family. His enslaver's name was Samuel Turner. Nat Turner ran away from the Turner plantation in 1821 and returned 30 days later after he encountered a vision from a prophet. So the reason why I'm talking about Nat Turner is Nat Turner was saying he was receiving visions, and he was well known to be a Christian because back then when you were enslaved, you had no other choice but to be a Christian. That is where hoodoo stems from, the forced Christianity on us, and we had to utilize what we had to free ourselves. So Nat Turner used to have to go around preaching to other slaves to help other slaves keep them in order for other slave masters. His slave master used him to do that. If you ever seen Birth of a Nation, you should go watch it. But he was also secretly hosting meetings showing the Bible verses about how you can free yourself from your master and all that stuff, which is stuff in the Bible they don't want to tell you about, okay? He got smart. All right, so he has right here. So he said he talked to a prophet. So who is this prophet that he said he talked to, that he had a vision of, that told him, like, you need to set yourself and your people free, just like Harriet Tubman, okay? So it has right here. He was sold to Joseph Travis after the death of his enslaver. So his original slave master enslaver, Samuel Turner, passed away, and then he got sold. Okay, so it got right here. Nat Turner had another vision 3 years later. So 3 years later, he had another vision. So for him to have a vision, and they used to say, Harriet Tubman used to have these fainting spells and have visions, and that's how she was able to lead the Underground Railroad and lead all those slaves off the plantation, she was getting visions. So I do believe that these were modern day seers. They just didn't have name for it back then because they was calling us slaves. They were seers. They was tapping into their supernatural powers. Okay, call it what you want. So we had right here, 3 years later, he had a vision. He received signs through a solar eclipse. So if you do not know, right now, we just had that recent solar eclipse in Leo. And it's I saw a lot of videos of people in areas where you could really see it up close. But my point is, this is an energy, that solar eclipse energy revealed a lot. It's the solar system. It's the sun. And what did they call Jesus? The sun, right? So as a Christian, the sun, the prophet. And then on top of that, even in ancient Kemet, Ra is considered the son and the prophet. Okay? Okay, the Most High God. All right? So he got a call from a definitely sun deity, I would think. It was a sun deity for sure. All right. And he said this vision eventually led him to his rebellion. So he was getting messages over a lot, 10 period, a little over 10 years at a time about this rebellion. It sounds similar to the Haitian Revolutionary War. Because remember, in the Haitian Revolutionary War, they didn't just have a rebellion one day and just think it up. Now, it took years to orchestrate this so they could get it done the right way. So they was told to hold off. They were patient. So that's another thing I want y'all to understand in spiritual practices, like doing stuff like this. You have to be patient. You cannot be impulsive. You have to be strategic. You can't be dumb in magic. You have to be smart in magic. And you have to plan this out detailed. All these people were successful in these rebellions, and it's because they actually followed universal order. Okay? Because he was following the sun. That is the universal order. Okay? So look, he got right here. It got on August 21st, 1831, which just passed. Has it passed yet? No, it has not passed yet. Not yet. Let me not rush us. So August 21, 1831, Turner led a slave revolt of 40 slaves. On horseback, first invading the Travis home, killing everyone while they slept, freeing slaves and grouping followers. So yes, remember how I told you it's a spiritual warfare here that'll tell you to do harm to somebody else because they did something to you? I do not recommend you listen to every single thing that it tells you to do. You have to use discernment and be noble, move in integrity. You see what I'm saying? So if something tells you to, I'm giving, like I was saying earlier, something told you somebody raped you and then you think you should R somebody else. That's not justice. That's what I mean. You have to operate in justice. All right, that's not justice. So that's what I mean. Don't listen to that. And there are forces out there like that, y'all. If somebody molests you like, I'm about to molest somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to trigger nobody. I'm just keeping it real because it's a lot going on out here. Okay? Just think about people like Dr. Malachi Z. York, Dr. Mr. What is his name? Polite, now Young Pharaoh, all these, Rashad Jamal, so many of these different people that stuff is happening. We can't explain it, right? Jim Jones. People always come after the prophets. And you know what I'm saying? So look, especially you got to think. Remember I told you about not healing. They wasn't healed. They was enslaved. So they was angry and depressed, getting beat, working 6 days a week from sun up to sundown. Hell yeah, they was mad. So that's what came out of them. The worst behavior came out of them. So I still do not think they were wrong. This is a result of the behavior of being in poverty and enslaved all this time. You expecting people to be happy about being enslaved and beating and tortured and barely fed well and enslaved is insane. That's another thing. I would never understand about the whole system behind enslavement in America and everywhere else. That they thought we were supposed to just be overjoyed to be enslaved, and they wasn't gonna never. So they called us savages for something that Nat Turner did, because he is known to kill children. He killed children. It's not something to be proud of. That is not something I'm celebrating that he did, but he did. I'm not shaming him for it either, because this got pulled out of him. But because their children used to get killed, like Nolan Wells, how he just got killed. And there's been several other different lynchings. It was a young lady they just found out about, some other people that's getting lynched. Our baby's been getting lynched and been getting killed and been getting murdered. And you want sympathy from us. That's the limit that they pushed them to. You see what I'm saying? Thank you so much for subscribing. All right, so look, it has right here. It got, these attacks lasted 48 hours, led to 55 white deaths and 200 black deaths before the slave militia was thwarted by white federal troops. Turner escaped and hid until October 31st, 1831, and was tried November 5th, 1831 for execution. On November 11th, 1931, Turner was hung and skinned. So yes, you see what I'm saying? Now, the reason why there was more blacks killed than whites was obviously because we were outnumbered from the beginning. Remember, in the beginning, he only had 40 people. He only got 40 men and women to come forward to fight and rebel against their slave masters. And then people that he got later to join in. And innocent people got killed too. That is the modern day guilty by association. That was, so some of these people weren't even rebellious. They just got shot because this happened, and they got killed because you black. Black, you know what I'm saying? They just got pulled into. Some of them didn't even do nothing. They were like Harriet Tubman said, they knew they was, she said, if people would have known they weren't slaves, she could have freed more. They was like, I'm a slave, I ain't trying to fight. So the innocent people got killed. And also because he used to know how to hide and they could not find him. How you think that is? They used to have them dogs sniff you out. They couldn't find him. He had to constantly come back. So true story, if he wanted to, he could have ran away. Because this said 1800. I thought about this. Marie Laveau passed away in 1801. He could have ran away to places where there were free slaves at. Louisiana, anywhere, and got his freedom and just left all his people behind, but he could not do that. With something in his heart, he could not do that. It wasn't in his heart. He could not leave his people. He could not leave his people. He just kept coming back. He couldn't live while he knew they was under those conditions, but he could have. So that lets you know he was not a selfish man. He just couldn't leave. But it was depressing him. Like, if I'm going to stay, y'all going to help us get out of this, though. So either I'm going to stay and we get out of this, or I'm going to be free or die. And that's what he did. Now, with everything going on, y'all, remember, this is spiritual warfare. The times of rebellions like this is not necessary because we're not in these type of chains anymore. So let's be realistic. Nobody's chaining us to a field or making us pick cotton and all that stuff no more. That time is done. Now they got us chained to a computer, chained to a job, chained to a mortgage, chained to a car payment. See what I'm saying? Chained to college. You know, they done forgave a lot of these college debts, but you know what I'm saying? They got other chains. They got other chains now. It's time for us to break, okay? They got other change to this political party that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to call on your ancestors, y'all. It's time to work with your ancestors. You got to think this is spiritual warfare, so you're going to have to call the spiritual ancestors to help you in certain situations, to fight for you. They've been in the end. They have never left this energy. They died in this energy. So they're going to be the ones that you're going to have to work with, okay? So look. I'm going to pull a few cards that I've been called to pull. I'm not going to be on here all day. I promise you, I have been putting off this particular message for probably about a month or so. I'm not even joking. Because I just don't, I'm not a fan of having to talk about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. I hate that this stuff is having to even happen. I'm the person that, because I'm a peacekeeper. Why can't we just live in peace? Why can't we just live in peace and harmony, okay? Why does it even have to be this way? That's my thinking. But it's also not logical because guess what? If you keep turning a blind eye to the evil forces and the evil people on this planet, you're going to get ate alive, okay? You're going to get ate alive. So it's time to open that third eye and come to the reality of these things and protect yourself spiritually, okay? So hold on. Let me ring this bell and get us into a spirit. Earth, air, fire, water, spirits of universe, most high, higher seven spirit, guides of balance light, ancestors known of balance light. Please come into this space and provide us a divine message for the Spellwork Universe reading. Islam Hotep, y'all, and Ayi Bobo. But look, I want to show one more thing. I don't think I showed these. I don't think I showed these. We need to get some of this Hydron the Conqueror root oil. Hydron the Conqueror root oil and African voodoo oil. I forgot to show those. You got to get this oil, y'all. Working with this oil, and dressing your candles, I promise you. All you got that's another. If you do not know, working with oils, ritual oil is an ancient Kemet practice. It was practiced in Rome, but Rome got it from ancient Kemet. It was a tradition they took on, even in the Catholic Church and all that stuff. They took the tradition. So why you think in them Catholic churches and in Rome they always dressing them statues? You'll see them pouring all that oil down the statue of Mary and all that stuff, Jesus and all that stuff. I'm telling you, the sacred oil. What did the Bible talk about? Anointing his head and his feet with oil. Okay, so yeah, it's time to get in, y'all. It's time to do it. It's time to do it. Now I do have a reading. I call it As Above, So Below. I took it off my menu. It is a reading to know what's spiritually going on, and if you under any spiritual attacks and how to get it off you. But definitely so you can know you ain't crazy out here. If you've been feeling something and you want to know what's going on because you've been having the most like crazy time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have gotten readings like this when they did something they weren't supposed to do too. You know what I'm saying? They being punished. So it's nothing. If you did some kind of black magic spell on somebody unjustly, just because say somebody cheated on you and now you want to curse them, you gonna pay for that. That's not an even spell. You know what I mean? That's not balanced. So if you do petty crimes, you're gonna serve the time, okay? If you do petty crimes, you're gonna serve the time, okay? And this is spiritual. All right, so here we go. Cutting it. I haven't used this deck in a while. If I had to pull this deck out, y'all know it's getting real out here. Ooh-wee. Here we go, y'all. Let's see what they got to tell us. Exactly. Ooh. Thank you. All right, y'all. Yes, there is a fight for balance going on in the universe right now. The Libra scales are balanced. Mama Ma'at, Father Anubis, and all of them are fighting big time right now. And let me explain something to you. If you are an ancient Kemet practitioner of any kind, you need to be working with Anubis and Ma'at right now and paying them offerings, helping them fight the spiritual warfare. That's who we are. We are their supporters, their followers, their workers. You know what I'm saying? We're assisting them. You got to think they helping us. This is a team effort. So I tell people at Ancient Kemet, we don't worship them. We work with them. We are working with them. So it's just look at it like you are part of the army. You're a part of the tribe. You're a part of the team. So you got to fight too. If all they followers get weak and fall off, you think come on now, because they still need us. So that's what I'm saying. Somebody, I need to get up. Of course they trying to pull you, trying to imbalance your scales and pull you down. Of course, but don't let it. I like how this slick look like it's like a mermaid tail kind of right here. And then it looked like a sword too. Clouds. It's raining. Somebody, you could be crying. Or it could be a lot of rain going on where you're at. A lot of water. And water is considered to be a very powerful weapon. Water is very destructive. So I did see some floodings going on in some other areas. And it's been real bad. So I hope, if any casualty has happened, I didn't see anything. Rest in peace to those people. And if it's not, may all those people get rescued and saved from all this water. But y'all, this is the great storms coming. So the weather is a clear reflection of the spiritual warfare, y'all. The hurricanes, the floods, the wildfires. The message is pay homage to Mother Earth. Start working and doing more nature magic too, working with nature. All right. Somebody, your third eye under attack. You see that? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Your third eye is under attack. You so woke that they want to put you back to sleep, but it ain't going to work. But that's what's been going on with you. You've been seeing stuff. So you need to start anointing your third eye. Your third eye is under attack. Get that voodoo oil and anoint your third eye right there. So somebody, you've been seeing negative stuff. You've been like picturing stuff, having negative visions or something like that. Even you've been having even nightmares and dreams. You just been feeling like you've been getting haunted. Yes, your third eye, aka pineal gland, the brain, your sight, because you becoming so strong, is under attack. It's under attack. You see, that's why they got the skull right here. So remember, the skull Remember, if you brain dead, your heart can still pump, but once you're brain dead, they can't do nothing with you. They can give you a new heart, but they have never been able to do a brain transplant. So your crown chakra is under attack. You need to start taking better care of your crown chakra, including your hair. If you ain't had a haircut in a while or washed your hair in a while, you need to get that haircut, get your hair washed. If you ain't had your locks retwisted in a while, y'all don't understand about lock care. Your locks are some powerful antennas. So if you ain't protecting this crown, stop letting people touch your hair. That's the message. I don't care who the F they are. Your hair, stop letting people touch your hair. No, they can't touch it. Because they are transferring things to you from just touching your hair. But you need to start doing saging these, putting some incense, putting like smoke on them, speaking protection over your hair. You got to protect the crown. Make sure your head is with a hat on like me or wrapped. Keep your head wrapped. This is not a joke. Do some moon magic with that crescent moon at the top. The moon, remember, the moon is a dark energy. It is. That's why people fear moon workers. The moon can be used to do death spells. It's a water element. Remember, the moon controls all the water. So all these hurricanes we getting, anything dealing with water storms is the moon. Mama Moon. And they can't do nothing about it. And they not about to destroy the moon. See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Do your moon work and you ain't got nothing to worry about. Don't slack off on your moon work, okay? That's the message. Do not slack off on your moon work. Start working with the moon right now on the daily basis. That means keeping up with at least like stuff like the first quarter moon, the last quarter moon, the waning crescents. It's time to, so that's a nice time to give gratitude to the moon. See what I'm saying? Because the dark energy is on the planet. And remember, in the beginning, there was darkness. And then the moon was created, and then the sun. Don't ever forget it. The moon was created first. The moon was created first. Don't forget it. All right. So, yes. You got 111. You've been seeing 111. You see these snakes and the bones. You're going through a transformation. It got shadow self. So, look. You have been seeing your shadow self, okay? And I know it's scary. But remember, the shadow is nothing more than the harm version of yourself, unfortunately. That is why healing is so important. You will become the very harm that you are still holding on to, unfortunately. So if you've been seeing something while you've been doing shadow work that you cannot believe, and it ain't, and you like, I'm not, I wouldn't dare do that stuff to anybody else after what happened to me. You need to let it go. Ask your ancestors to help. Remember I told y'all, get y'all a black candle. Get y'all definitely a black candle and a chicken's foot. For sure. To banish this curse once for all. We all got a shadow side. So you do got to face this shadow side. Even if it makes you cry that you can't believe this is actually your shadow. But you can also realize that you got to do your shadow work and heal. See what I'm saying? Do your shadow work and heal. See, they're two dualities, okay? All right. So look, let's see. Hold on. All right. Okay. So now we got sanctuary. Okay. Woo! Thank the universe. Okay, I feel good. As I was just saying, look, this looks like a cathedral or something like that. And look at them keys up here. Look at them keys. I do sell keys, y'all. I sell protection keys for people to practice hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft. But yes, keys. So somebody, you done unlocked a serious door. I don't think you realize what you unlocked at the time, because somebody just wanted to get somewhere so fast. That's the message. Somebody was tired. Somebody got burnt out on their journey and they got impatient. It happens to the best of us. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to know what was going on with you or happened to you, and you wanted to know so much that now you're overwhelmed with what's going on with you now. And now you have, you know what I'm saying? Now the results are coming out a bit much. So I like to see, when I see the sanctuary card, let me see what it says on the side right here. Angels take, let me see. So look, yeah, you may need to go to the altar. That's the message. So if you don't want to go to church or a cathedral, because that's up to you. If you want to go to a cathedral, if you want to go to a church and go to the actual altar, and if you want to talk to a priest or a preacher or somebody, you know what I'm saying, you can. But y'all definitely gonna have to go to the altar. If you're a person that you do your own spiritual work and you're not involved in any church or temple, you can go to the altar and ask for help. You're gonna have to go get some sanctuary. And I'm gonna read some of those. I didn't do that yet, but I'm gonna read some of those. You gotta go to the sanctuary. You ain't gonna be able to, so that's another thing. To get through this, you're not gonna be able to get through this without help. You're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some help. All right. Somebody, you're gonna need some help to get through this spiritual warfare, okay? Do not think you, what they say, Billy Bad A, okay? Even the strongest people need help. Have y'all ever seen The Long Kiss Goodnights? So, in The Long Kiss Goodnight, Samuel L. Jackson played in it, and I can't remember the other one. The other woman that played in Beetlejuice, in the first Beetlejuice as the dead wife, she played in it as some woman that was some kind of secret spy. She lost her memory due to getting shot in the head, and she was really left for dead. And the man that shot her, and tried to kill her, raped her, and she got impregnated. No, not the one that shot and killed her. She got impregnated by somebody else. So the people that used to try to kill her, she ended up having one of their child. You know what I'm saying? But the man that tried to kill her, actually, she stabbed him in the eye with a syringe and blinded him. And that's when he shot her in the head, and she lost her memory. And she came back and had a whole new identity. She did not know who she was. She did not know who she was. So one day out of nowhere, she just woke up to, one day they had like a robber coming to their house, and she just messed them up. You know what I'm saying? And they couldn't believe that she was doing all that. They like, what? And she used to know how to chop food, work knives. She was just doing stuff, and she didn't remember where it's from. Somebody, that's what's going on with you right now. You're waking up to somebody that you didn't even know, you was like that. Or that you ever done anything like that, or even for some of y'all, that stuff like this had ever really been done to you. Okay? So as you waking up to this, you have a choice again in this life to do what is right. That's where you actually are. You are literally in the face of judgment. And all you got to do is continue doing the right thing. And once I tell you, you got to go to the sanctuary. You got to go to your ancestors and tell them, you know what I'm saying? Remember I told y'all about y'all going to have to realize if this is something that's been in your blood lineage and you breaking the generation curse, you're going to have to actually heal your blood lineage. You're going to have to ask them to heal your lineage. That doesn't mean they deserve access to you after they heal, because they still going to have to pay for the things that they done, the things that they allowed themselves to be used for. But you still got to make sure they heal, because if they don't heal, you can't heal. You still the same bloodline. You're still in the same blood lineage. The blood needs to be healed. Did I show y'all? Yeah, you got to get some graveyard dirt. All right, y'all, here we go. This is a lot. This is a lot of stuff. And love and memory. We have been having a lot of people pass away recently, mostly, and I feel like everybody has been dealing with that, but definitely, people have been dealing with people losing their lives in general, and then there's been a lot of celebrities just recently been dying, some really close celebrities to people. I'm saying that girl that played in Nashville and stuff, and remember the Titans, she just passed away. So that's what I'm saying. They like your ancestors. Somebody ancestors wants them to talk to them, or maybe give them some flowers on the altar or something like that. But they want you to remember them too. Ancestors actually want you to remember them. Some of this stuff is something that some of the stuff you've been feeling that's been showing you a shadow side is an ancestor. And that ancestor is not healed. Whoever this ancestor is that's in your blood lineage, you do not need to work with this ancestor. That's what I'm getting. they're sick and they're trying to use you as their only blood lineage to get revenge about something through you, because they may be stuck here. So you need to help them, their soul pass on too. So that be happening, y'all. You need to help this ancestor soul pass on. They stuck here and they've been causing all kind of havoc because they got whatever they got done wrong when they was living. It sounds like a child. That's what I'm getting, some angry child. And they are mad. They need healing, something serious, and they definitely need their soul set free. Okay? If you resonate with this message, come to me. It got Plague Doctor. I wasn't even going to show this card. This is at the bottom of the deck of the last deck, the reading I got, and then look, Plague Doctor. Yep. So look, y'all, I want y'all to know, with all these sicknesses is coming out right now because they poisoning food and so much other stuff, y'all, it's going to be some, this is the time of the great plagues. You see how they got their faces covered up and stuff? Y'all are going to have to, say Plague Doctor. Y'all going to have to learn how to become your own doctors and healers. So if you can't heal yourself now, soon hospitals is about to be shut down. They're not even going to let people in the hospitals like that. They don't have enough doctors. See, that's another thing. They don't have enough doctors, so y'all going to be having to go to healers or become your own healer. Something's coming up. And look at the skull in his hand again. I do feel like whatever is going to hit everybody is all in the head. People about to start going crazy just a little bit. And it's already been happening. That's what I'm saying. Look at young Pharaoh. People about to start mentally losing their mind. Protect yourselves. So that's another thing. Protect who you hang around. If people are acting crazy now and doing crazy stuff and acting like they don't know what you're talking about, confused, they tripping out, and it's like minor stuff right now, but it's still a bit chaotic and extreme. Those are the red flags. Stay away from them. They already showing mental instability. People that lack accountability, always making excuses for stuff that they did wrong, never holding themselves accountable. Just pay attention, y'all. Hourglass. That's a bat. It looks like, oh, that's an angel. Wow, look, hold on. So that's an angel wing on one side and a bat on the other side, wing on the other side. And it was another card I pulled. Yeah, the sanctuary card. It said about angels and stuff. Yeah, this is so look, y'all remember, as much as I'm not a biblical scholar or religious from the Christian aspect, but y'all, this is the great battle. Y'all remember angels versus demons? That's what this is, spiritual warfare. This is the great battle of angels versus demons. That's why one side is a bat and one side is an angel. I hate that they use bats, because bats, ain't nothing wrong with bats. Bats are not evil, but you know how they do. They try to use the bat wing as a form of it's a demon. That's all. They use the wing, but I don't think bats are demons, okay? That's just the depiction they use. So don't, but yes, this is angel versus demon, y'all. And then the fact that that's an hourglass and this is scales. But they still look like it's some kind of scale right there with the wings out. Make sure you work with the answers. That's something that you got to help your answers right now. Time is ticking. The war is actually about over with. That's another thing. So the message is we already won the war, but that don't mean we need to win strong. For the wrap up need to be strong. Don't get lazy towards the end. That's the thing. You get lazy towards the end, that's how you lose. You put all that fight in, and then at the end you lose. Because you gave up and you gave up and gave in at the end as you was already winning. Push through. Push through. That's why they trying to stop you from getting through. They trying to stop you from getting through. Push through. Book. Somebody keep reading your Psalms. Somebody you need to get into learning. You need to study more. See, this stuff is happening to you because you don't know enough yet. And you need to admit that. Somebody, I feel like you already have, but somebody else need to hear this. You don't know enough yet because you really ain't been out here. Somebody, you just ain't somebody that want to be doing this. Somebody, you're not actually a fighter at heart. You can fight and you will fight, but at heart, just wanting to be a fighter and cause havoc, even spiritually fighting, that ain't in your heart. Somebody, you've been fighting your whole goddamn life, honestly. And you're just tired of the fight, right? But the fight is not over. So all that strength you've been having all this time, it's time to use it. And this is your wisdom. Look at that protection. And that's what I'm wearing today, y'all. And I do got some candles with this on. I don't have them over here, but I got a candle with the pentacle on there for y'all to get for protection. Somebody, you need to get to studying more and learning how to protect yourself better. All right. Ladder. Somebody, you're reaching higher heights. You're climbing. So that's nothing. As you continue to climb, as you continue to ascend and pretty much be lifted up and get pulled to the higher levels, the attacks always come around the time you're in a big transformation and when you're really reaching higher heights, because they want to derail you, pull you down, and get you stuck on the level that you've been on and that you no longer belong on. You reached a higher level. So that's what's happening to you right now too. You're reaching a higher level. This is a higher level you're on. Keep climbing, keep going, keep looking forward. Don't look back. I don't care who it is or what it is. There's nothing back there for you. That time has ended, expired. That season is complete. That person is no longer who you were, who you are. It's who you were. That person you used to be is who you were. Who you are today is not that. Okay? Woo! Y'all, that was a lot. I feel like that was enough. That was enough. I don't want to talk about nothing else. That was enough. But I do have to talk to y'all about a few more things before I let y'all go. I'm going to share with y'all some Psalms that y'all need to read to help y'all right now. Starting with Psalm 61. It's 8. It's Psalm 61 and it's 1 through 8. Y'all should read that. Take notes right now because I don't want to read all this right now. But Psalms 61, 1 through 8. And then we have, I can read these. How many I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to read a couple. Hold on. So we have Psalms 51 verse 10, which is creating me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. So somebody, you need to start reading this. That's why they recommend it. A book. It could be your Bible. It could be a book of Psalms. But you know what book you need to be reading right now and studying right now that's going to help you. All right. So creating me a clean heart, O God and Goddess. I like to say, O God and Goddess, and renew a right spirit within me. I like to say that because a lot of the spiritual practices that I use have female and male gods. Okay. And it got Psalms 91 verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by day. So yeah, you cannot have no fear out here. You need to read that. So, and it got even right here, Psalms 119, 164. 7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgments. I'm telling you, go to the altar, baby. Okay, 7 times a day. Pray all day, y'all. I'm not joking about this. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about prayer. Prayer, remember, prayers without works is dead. So I showed y'all the stuff that y'all could do. You pray and you do your spiritual work and then you do your actual physical work. You have to do all of it. You can't just pray and don't light no candles. And you can't just light candles and pray and don't put forth the action. See what I'm saying? It's actually more work when you decide to go through the occult practices of what we do. You can't just pray to Jesus and ask forgiveness and then let it be. Now you got to do your work over here. Okay. So it got Psalms 37 verse 27. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. So you've been feeling any evil forces, speak it away. Any evil thoughts and stuff, speak it away. Remember what I said about anointing that third eye, because your third eye under attack. Even this one. Psalms 20 verse 2. Send thee help from the sanctuary and strengthen thee out of Zion. You're going to need some help. Ask your ancestors for help. Call on your angels. That's what that other card was talking about. Call on your... This ain't the time to be acting like you can do this by yourself. Call whoever you call for help, whether that be Jesus, the Most High, Ra, Sekhmet, whoever. Call on your ancestor, your grandmama, whoever you're going to work with. Okay? So this is another thing. Remember I told you we got to heal, okay? He got Psalms 147 verse 3. He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. We're going to have to heal too. A lot of this spiritual warfare is due to us not being healed. And our bodies are easily to be taken advantage of and easily to be corrupted because you're still, wounds are still surfacing up in you. So look, I love this one too. Psalms 31 verse 2. Bow down thy ear to me, deliver me speedily, be thou my strong rock for a house of defense to save me. Look, y'all, even the most powerful warriors, men and women, have been saved and rescued, okay? Nobody is above receiving help. Everybody can need help in multiple times in their life, okay? The warrior gets wounded sometimes, and they need healing, all right? So look, this is one of my favorites too. Psalms 25 verse 21. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. Yes. So while you're still on this battlefield doing, keeping yourself together, make sure you keep move with integrity and uprightness. Don't ever forget it. I like this one. This is what I was talking about. Psalms 18 verse 28. For thou will light my candle, the universe, my God, will enlighten my darkness. Lighten your life up. Light the candle. All right. Light the candle, y'all. So let me see. Look, Psalms 118 verse 17. I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. And you can say universe. You can say the Most High. You can change that word however you want it. Or you could even use the ancestor's name that you want to, if you want to. I don't want to, not, what I'm saying? I will say the universe or the Most High, though. It has right here, my help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth, which is Psalms 121 verse 2. And in ancient Kemet, that would be Ra. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. And yes, Ra is considered to be a Lord. He is the Lord of all lords in ancient Kemet, okay? But it got right here. I like this one. Psalms 41 verse 2. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth, and thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. So look, if you're a woman and you want to read this verse, you just change him to her. That's what I do. If I want to speak for myself, I just say the Lord will preserve me or her and keep me alive. I like to say me because I want to directly know it's talking to me. And I shall be blessed upon the earth, and thou will not deliver me unto the will of our enemies. So yes, speak that. These evil forces, they can't touch you. You will not be delivered into this. You will not. Speak that. And the guy right here, this is one of my favorites. Psalms 30 verse 3. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. You better say that every day. Every day you wake up and give thanks for still breathing, talking, walking. You can hear, you can see. Give gratitude. I know somebody used to say any day above ground is a good day. That's a good phrase to go by. Somebody that is not mine. Somebody I know used to say it. He says that all the time. That was his daily almond. Any day above ground is a good day. That's right here. The fact that you still walking, talking, and breathing and alive means the universe and the Most High Mother and Father want you here, and that is enough to keep doing do the right thing. Okay, you still in this fight for a reason. Okay. So look, that is let me see. I think that's the main thing I wanted to share. That is the main thing I wanted to share with y'all today in that message. If y'all like this message, please like, share, and subscribe to me here on YouTube. If y'all want to give a donation, you can go to Venmo, Goddess on the Rise, PayPal, goddessontherise.life at gmail.com. We got Chime and Copper Queen. Excuse me, I said Chime and Copper. Chime and Cash App is Copper Queen. That's COPPERQU33N for the E's on Queen, on both. Copper Queen is QU33N, and I'm on Chime, and that's Chime and Cash App for that. Nothing is too big, nothing is too small. Or like I said, I showed a couple of tools that I have in my shop that y'all are welcome to get. If y'all heard anything I said that y'all need, I do ship out. And if you're a local, you can come by my shop. Remember, call first. I tell people all the time, this is not a pop-up shop. This is a pickup shop. And I typically work with appointments because I do take, if I have to leave because I don't have any appointments during that time and go somewhere, I will. You know what I'm saying? I will. All right? I will leave and I'll come back. So, and I always stay nearby. That's another thing. I always stay nearby. So I don't go too far away, but sometimes I might. So I try to stay within, I would say 5 to 10 minutes away. Sometimes I might go 20 minutes away though. All right. So look, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. Marina's Bell, send this energy back to spirit. Y'all, I hope y'all having a great day. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit. Until next time, y'all, happy Tuesday, happy Martyrs Day. Once again, happy Leo season. Continue to protect yourself. Happy solar eclipse energy. Peace, love, and balance. Copper Queen checking out.